All right. Well, we'd like to welcome you all to our third Wander Wisely series. And we're going to be talking about river cruising in today's episode. We, a little bit about us first. We're Jason and Donna Miller. We are avid travelers. We've been to 80 plus countries, all 50 U.S. states and two U.S. territories. We're proud travel agents with ET Family Travel. And we also have our own separate travel blog that's Pursuing Travel with the Millers. And we have YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So our goal is to help you travel better and to travel easier, make things smooth and seamless for you. So we're also a free to use travel agency. So it doesn't cost you a thing, and you are supporting small business as you book with us. So that's a little bit about us. And in the coming months, we'll be having more Wander Wisely seminars that are webinars, I should say, that go over different aspects of travel and go through all kinds of different things. So a little bit about our guest today. It's Riviera Travel, which they do river cruises, but they also do yacht cruises as well. They've been around for over 40 years. They're a UK based brand originally. Now they have an office in Fort Lauderdale. And they're moving into the United States market. So they're a relatively new player in the US market, but they're one that I'm guarantee is going to make an impact here in the marketplace. So, great cruise line, won many different awards, and is well trusted in, especially the UK, but now soon to be the United States. And they travel all over Europe, and also new is Mekong as well, is that they have. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Bruce because he knows Riviera way better than I do. So he can share what Riviera is all about. And one last thing before, if you have questions, please put it in the chat box. And you can also check in the chat box for any kind of our travel blog or all of those kind of links. So take it away, Bruce.
Well, thank you, Jason and Kirstana. Thank you guys for hosting this evening. Again, I'm Bruce Metzendorf. I'm the sales director for North America with Riviera Travel River Cruises. And as Jason mentioned, we also do Croatia yacht cruises, but I'm not going to probably talk about too much of that tonight. But if you're interested, Jason and Donna will have that information for you as well. Just going to talk about Riviera, what we do, what makes us different. So who is Riviera? As Jason again mentioned, we're well over 40-year company in the UK. We are the UK market leader in river cruising, outselling all of the river cruise brands. Again, outstanding vacation experiences. We're, again, unbeatable value for money. And again, that's where you want to focus on, because there are going to be companies out there that offer a lesser product or a more expensive product on the rivers. But when you do a comparison in that premium market where we fall, we're going to always come out in the lead with all our offerings and inclusions, as well as our price point. So a wide range of European cruises and those yacht cruises, and always looking to innovate and add new itineraries to the market. So we, again, a highly respected brand in the UK market for over the 55 traveler. Though we are getting people who come younger, so don't feel if you're less than 55 years old that you won't feel comfortable. You certainly will. Again, we have an outstanding reputation. We win a host of industry awards that you can see on the left side of your page there. But what I'd like you to look about out really is that trust pilot. That's where our clients or your peers are going on and talking about Riviera Travel and rating us and with the experiences that they've had. So with Trustpilot, again, we have a 4.7 rating, which is the highest rating of any other river cruise in the marketplace. And the only ones that come close are well into the luxury level that are more than probably twice the price as what we're offering. So with all our inclusions and amenities, so the value is there, and we have the highest rating of all the river cruises. So why Riviera Travel? Well, we're exclusive with no single supplement on entire departures. And we'll talk more about those solo traveler cruises that we do offer. Expert crafted itineraries, 50 plus options for our 26 and 27 departures. Again, we are the UK market river leader in river cruises. 40 plus years of service, and we have a happiness guarantee. So we're going to guarantee your happiness, and we'll touch on that. So we're top of the premium with less than premium prices. So we're about 20% less than our nearest competitor, and it's not the ones mentioned here. I always say we have these spacious French balconies, staterooms at 183 square feet, which is 48 square feet larger than Viking. And I only bring them up because those are the ones you're seeing on TV. Those are the ones that are in your mailbox every other day. And we feel that we have a much higher product. In fact, rating wise, again, we do have a much higher product. We're all inclusive, meals, drinks, multiple daily tours, complete packages, so we can also manage your flights, transfers, pre and post hotels, and even land tours that we do now. We have a Swiss-built ship, and they're world-class quality. So again, the Swiss do very well, and our ships are absolutely gorgeous, very elegant, without being stuffy. And you'll see some of that. But this is how we compare. These are some of the other players in the middle market or the premium market. And we compare very favorably. There is one on there in the luxury market, which would be Uniworld. Again, we compare very favorably to what everyone else offers to what we include and offer as well. But it gets better because we have more and more inclusions. So again, I mentioned that happiness guarantee. Well, this is really unique because nobody else offers this to you in the industry. So we're so confident in our vacation experience that is, if you're not happy when you travel with us by day two, and you've conveyed that message to our cruise director or our hotel manager, and seeing that if we can't fix it, we'll actually pay the difference in your airfare, bring you home, and give you a full refund. That's how confident we are in our vacation experience. And knock on wood, nobody in this industry offers it, nor have we actually had to use it because, again, everybody seems to be happy. So we have revolutionary programs as, again, we're moving and we're driving, we're growing so much more in North America now, included drinks packages. Again, we'll touch on these. Again, the solos we talked about, a great group policy that you can talk to Jason and Donna about. And also we have our one-stop shop for flights, hotels, transfers, and more. So this is our fleet. Currently, we have our 5 ships that you see on the right side of the page there. They're pretty homogeneous, meaning they basically the same designs, appointments, amenities. The only thing that changes on them would be the color schemes of the ships. They're 135 meters or 443 feet. In the middle there, you have our Doro ships, which are by Dorazil. It's a different shipbuilder. And those are only 80 meters because they run the Dora, which is a more narrow river. And then we have our 110-meter ships, the Jane Austen and Lord Byron, on the Seine and the Rhone. But also we have our newer ship, the George Eliot, again with a few more appointments and the way the ship is laid out. But they're all very beautiful. And then our brand new ships, the 2 that we launched this year, the Riviera Rose on the Douro River and the Riviera Radiance on the Danube. And coming next year, the Riviera Resplendence, which will be the sister ship of the Radiance, with actually in the next 3 years, 4 new ships that we'll be offering at Riviera. So we're growing, and again, we're making that impact and such great things happening with our company. So our ships, as I mentioned, are very elegant in design, but not stuffy. So you don't have to feel like we're frou-frou, but again, very attractive. So you walk into the ships and you walk into these beautiful like you're walking into a fine European boutique hotel lobby. You have these chandeliers, this atrium area, this beautiful staircase with the brass railings and the fleur-de-lis. Of course, an elevator or lift that going to all the deck levels. But when you walk on a lot of other river cruise ships, when you walk in and see a couple desks with people sitting down behind them. And we don't do that at Riviera. Again, you're walking into a beautiful lobby design with our information and reception desk, boutique, a travel desk. Here's another view of that. So it's open space, very large. And again, you don't feel crowded and looks like a real hotel lobby. And then we have our wonderful cabins and suites. Just starting here is our lower deck at 172 square feet with all the amenities. That's with the high window. This is your lead-in price point. But we have our French balcony suite, and over 86% of the ship are these staterooms with the French balconies. Those sliders go all the way over. You turn your chair around, and the whole room turns into your balcony. And then we have our superior suites, just under 250 square feet. And then also our deluxe balcony suites, just under 270 square feet, where you have a full sit-out balcony as well as a French balcony with a lot of extra appointments and amenities. Again, we do offer breakfast room service where other companies or river cruise lines may not offer it at all, or if they do, there might be an additional charge. So all these amenities, breakfast room service, branded luxury branded toiletries, Wi-Fi is included, individually controlled air conditioning, which is great. There are lines out there that don't let you control the temperature in your room. Of course, hair dryers, safes, mini fridges, and we're probably the only river cruise company that offer coffee and tea making facilities right in your stateroom, which is really nice. The coffee machines are Nespressos, and I know they have different varieties of those. So once you figure out how to use it, I guess they make pretty good coffee. And I'm the tea drinker, and so we have a separate tea kettle in there. So my wife, the coffee drinker, me, the tea drinker, which is great because if you're a tea drinker, you know you don't like the taste of coffee in your tea. So having those two separate things makes it work out great. And then we have our beautiful panoramic round lounge. This is the heart of the ship, where we have windows all the way around the ship, where you can see and view maybe if you're in here for inclement weather, because a lot of times, which I'll show you, you want to be on the sun deck when we're cruising. But here you've got lots of space where everybody in the whole ship fits. We'll have light entertainment in here every evening with a piano player. Of course, the bar and cocktails, little nooks to sit out if you've gathered around with met some people, dance floor and more sitting area. Of course, again, I mentioned entertainment with the piano player. They may play a guitar or a flute, sing as well. They'll actually play to the audience. We'll bring entertainment from ashore on board for you during the cruise as well. And we'll also do port talks. We'll talk about what we're going to see when we get to our next destination. And of course, the bar area is in here as well, which is great because, of course, you always want to have a cocktail or a soft drink. And starting in 2026, drinks are on us. So basically, all this is included. And from 10 a.m. to midnight is select open bar. And we're the only river cruise line in the premium market to even offer this as an included open bar program. Again, this is our overview shot, which I always like to show of the center of the ship. When you enter, you can again see that lobby area where you enter from each side of the carpet. Straight back would be the lounge. On the upper left, you can see the library. Down below is that 24-hour coffee station. So maybe you just don't want a Nespresso coffee. Here you can get an Americano, espresso, a latte, a cappuccino, hot chocolate, tea. It's there 24 hours. There's going to be a light snack there, cookies or some kind of something to eat, as well as a lot of the ships have a sparkling or still water machine to fill up the water bottles that are in your staterooms that are yours to take home. So we've gone green, so we don't use those plastic water bottles anymore. And then straight through down the staircase into our dining room, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Both include open seating, open dining, which is quite nice. So you come in during the hours when you want and sit with who you want or alone. So there's no rush, no pressure. And again, it's at your leisure during the dining hours. So if you want to come dinners from 7 to 9 and you want to come to a quarter to 9, we'll serve till about 10. Again, if you want to relax and have a bar at the drink of the cocktail bar and then come later, That's for your prerogative. We're going to serve it. Tables of two, tables of four, six, eight, whoever you like to join or be with or by yourself, it's all there for you. And then we have our a la carte restaurants. We have the Riverview, which is in the back of our ship, serving a lunch fare as well as reservations for dinner. Our a la cartes are included in the cost of the cruise, so there is no additional charge. And or as I mentioned, you can come for lunch and dine al fresco outside it if it's the weather permitting, and have a wonderful lunch in here as well. The menus don't change in the main dining room. Sorry, in the a la carte restaurant as they do daily in the main dining room, but there's a host of items to choose from. And this is just one of our sample menus. It's five-star European continental cuisine, but taking on the local flavors where we happen to be cruising. So as I look at this menu, I can see it's from the south of France because we have that bouillabaisse à la Marseille or pan-seared river perch, but also a host of other items like the herb-crusted rack of lamb or Swiss char. So you'll always have those. I see Donna like, dinner. When's dinner? Um, so all this is very good. So if we're in Germany, we'll have more of the German flair to some of the meals, but not every meal. And then also if we're in France, again, more of the French flares or wherever we happen to be cruising. Uh, and we also manage dietary restrictions. So say you're gluten-free, lactose intolerant, soy issues, or vegan or vegetarian. We always will be able to manage that. And if anything on the menu appeases your palate, we'll always be able to prepare a piece of chicken or fish grilled to your liking or prepared to whatever you like. So we're very accommodating. And then after all that eating, we have all these amenities on board, like a fitness room where you can do some exercise, massage studio, get a nice massage, a hair and nail salon, and then we also have bikes on board to take at your leisure, which is very nice. So again, they're there. These amenities are there for you. Obviously, the bikes would be complimentary. There would be an additional charge for like the hair and nail or massage studio, but no charge to work out in the fitness room. All our ships have some kind of water element. It's kind of like a oversized jacuzzi or hot tub, but no bubbles. They are heated during the beginning and end of season, so you could go and get in your robe from your stateroom, come up here, grab a glass of wine that's included, and sit in that nice pool and watch the river go by, and just so nice. But sun, plenty of shade, real very nice deck furniture, not plasticky stuff. Whether it's the tables and chairs or the chaises, it's all there. Plus, in the foredeck, we have another sitting area where you can sit and relax on these nice cushions or chairs, have a cocktail, read a book. I also like to be up here in the front of the ship when we're going through the locks. So these are again, we have 13 ships. We have introducing our brand new ships as well, as I talked about the ones two this year, which is the Riviera Rose and the Riviera Radiance. The Rose is on the Douro. It's only 114 passengers, so it's quite lovely, small and intimate. But this is also a new design in river ships that we've introduced with Riviera. So again, it's got that makeup of, again, a beautiful ship. But when you enter, you have two, I wouldn't call them desks, but reception and cruise director area. They're going to be standing up behind there, not sitting down in a chair. But what makes these different, again, we have beautiful staterooms, all the amenities, as I mentioned. You can see the water bottles in there, those metal water bottles that you can take home with you. And I mentioned the sparkling water because you can put still sparkling water in these and they won't explode on you. So that's why I like these as well. All the appointments, amenities with the French balconies, with the sliders that you can sit and watch the river go by. Beautifully appointed bathrooms. You're going to see this on most all our ships anyway, with the vessel sinks and the rainwater shower head and a handheld, but space to walk around, not cramped like you might see on I was just on a ship, a big ocean liner ship a couple weeks ago, and the bathrooms were tiny. I had to open the bathroom door to open the shower door to get in. It was one of those. You couldn't manage it. So it was quite cramped. Let's just put it that way. But what's real different about this ship design is that we've opened up and put in a huge atrium between the lounge area and the restaurant below. So you can see all this natural light that comes in from the top straight down through the lounge and into the restaurant below. And it's absolutely beautiful with this new atrium open space design. So here we can have the lounge with the piano player and chairs and sitting areas, and of course the bar area on the top. And then we have, of course, well, the fit. Did I miss one? No. The fitness center. I think I'm missing a slide in there, but again, with the lounge or restaurant below that, the fitness center. Again, all those amenities, hair and nail salon, or if there's a sauna and steam room. Look at this pool on the Doro ship. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now you're going to find larger pools on the Dora because the law says that you can only cruise during the day, not overnight, like we do on most of the rivers. So while we're cruising all morning, you can come out here, relax in this absolutely gorgeous pool, have a drink, a mimosa, and just sit and watch the river go by. It's really beautiful. Wonderful deck furniture, very comfortable. And we have a second restaurant as well on that top deck, so another a la carte restaurant on this ship that we don't have on the other two Doro ships. Really just beautiful, again, with a host of amenities. And then the Radiance, again, which is that long ship as well, we just launched. This one came out in early June. Absolutely beautiful design. Again, here's that atrium look that we have with that lounge above, the restaurant below, with the main restaurant there. Here's a view of that restaurant, but floor to ceiling windows in there, but also then we have a second specialty restaurant underneath that as well, which is more of a tapas restaurant. Again, all this is included in the cost of the cruise. Then we have the fitness center, the plunge pool, as we saw earlier, all the deck and furniture outside as well. But this is a superior stateroom on there with the bed facing the water. A lot of people tend to like that. And then again, a sitting area in that room. And then we have our grand suite. So it's a large, very large sitting room, a bedroom, sitting area, full sit-out balcony with lots of appointments, amenities. And this comes in around 345 square feet. And I just wanted to show the deck plan to give you an idea. So the ones that you see on the top deck or the diamond deck, the yellow, those green ones, and the blue below, they're all 172 square feet. Again, the blue is that high window, and then the middle or ruby and diamond are all French balconies. Then you have what we described earlier is the superior suites, the ones in the red and the middle deck, and purple on the upper deck. And then the lavender are our deluxe or grand suites, those four on the upper deck. So it just gives you an idea how it's laid out. And the sizing also reminds me, again, as I mentioned earlier, we have the main restaurant, the specialty restaurant in the back of the ship, like we have on the others, but a third or a second specialty or a third restaurant on the lower deck that I mentioned with the tapas. So really lots of space, a lot of public space as well, so you don't feel crowded when you're traveling with us. Uh, and then we have the resplendence. So the radiance is now on the Doro. Sorry, let me try that again. The Riviera Rose is on the Doro. The radiance is on the Danube, and the resplendence will be primarily on the Rhine. So the differences in our itineraries, and just kind of touching on this briefly, we sail pretty much where everybody else sails. But we tried, so how do you make us different? Well, we can't build new rivers. Like I said, we try to do that. It just won't work. So we tweak our itineraries to enhance this experience. So we're pretty much all over Europe, but we go to places some of the others don't. We only do in and out of Amsterdam during tulip time, which is the month of April. And the reason we only do that during tulip time is that when we run the rest of our Rhine River cruises, we're in and out of Cologne, Germany, because between Amsterdam and Cologne is industrial. So all you're doing is that day and a half trip when you leave Amsterdam to get to Cologne for that 1.5 day sailing is you're looking at factories and warehouses or open fields. So by design, we begin or end in Cologne, Germany, where everything you want to see on the Rhine is from Cologne south. The castles and the palaces and the lovely little quaint towns and villages. It's spectacular. The Rhine and Moselle, the Rhine down to Strasbourg, Heidelberg, of course, Cologne or Rhine down to Basel. We do the the Main across to the Main-Danube Canal into the Danube River to Budapest. But we also do something unique. We do the Black Sea cruise. Other companies say they have a Black Sea cruise. They do, but they only go for 7 nights to Bucharest, and then they get off there, and then or go back to Bucharest from Bucharest to Budapest in 7 nights. But we do a 14-night round trip, and we actually go into the Danube Delta, which is a World Heritage UNESCO destination right behind the Galapagos and the Great Barrier Reef. So it really is a unique and amazing destination. And all those little towns and cities that we stop along the way uh, don't get the tourism of the main parts of the Danube River. So they're all warm and welcoming. They want you to come see them, and it really gives you that unique experience. Um, and you're hitting 5 countries on this itinerary. So Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria. So really great, amazing stuff, and not the same port up and back. You'll always be someplace different every day. We also have introduced these new grand tours, and these are wonderful new itineraries that include a 7 night land stay to a 7 night river cruise, which is very unique. So what's wonderful about these land tours that we're doing is that you're only checking into a hotel once because we do a hub and spoke type program. So you're going to go into your hotel and check in, and every day we'll go out to different destinations to experience that. So the Heart of Italy and the Douro Valley cruise, Italian lakes and the Swiss mountains cruise to the Rhine River that we just talked about, the Grand Tour of France, which is around Marseille in the Provence region, and then the TVG train up for a Paris Normandy cruise. And then we just launched this week is the Taste of Italy and the Blue Danube cruise. So parts of Italy and that region, the main area, and even southern, and then flying to Budapest, included in the cost, and getting on our Danube cruise, which is also amazing. So a lot of inclusions, a lot of great touring here, and the pricing is phenomenal. We also do theme cruises. So if you're into some of these things, music on the Blue Danube, arts and history, gastronomy cruises, which are food and wine, music, arts and crafts, gardening and natural beauty. Maybe you're part of an arboretum or love to go to the Philharmonic. These are our regular cruises, but with all these extra enhancements to make them themed cruises. And they're so easy for you to join in. If you have these interests, please come in and join us on these amazing themed cruises that we offer. Now, I know that Jason earlier mentioned about our solo travelers, and this is something that Riviera had launched before I started, so 8, 9, 10 years ago. I've been with the company 8 years now when we launched here in North America. Of course, we had about 3.5 years of COVID during that as well. But we offer solo traveler cruises. This is where the entire ship for these specific itineraries and departure dates are for solo travelers with no single supplement. So if you're a solo traveler, the entire ship is for solos. We don't sell any doubles on these. So if there's 70 cabins on board, we're going to max out at 70 passengers. So for lack of a better word, everybody's in the same boat. So if you're used to traveling alone, or your spouse doesn't like to travel, or you're just traveling on your own like you always have, or maybe you're a bunch of ladies or gentlemen who travel every year together, but nobody wants to share a room anymore. Here you're getting your own room as a solo traveler, but and enjoying great experiences. Maybe you're in a ladies travel group on Facebook, and invite them to come with you. And Donna and Jason will be happy to set this up for you. Right? They're shaking their heads. Yes, good. All right. So, and between 26 and 27, we have well over 65 solo river and yacht departures just for those solo travelers. So, of course, we have well over 400 regular departures, but this is huge because we know that if you're solo, you hate paying 200% to travel with us or anyone, and here you're doing it without a supplement. So amazing itineraries and offers just for our solos as well. And if you just want to join one of our regular cruises, we always have at least 4 lower deck staterooms with a 25% supplement on every single departure, not select departures or close in when there's maybe we're trying to fill up the space. No, every single departure has at least 4 cabins with a 25% supplement. So I know that Jason also mentioned a couple of other things. We're introducing in 2027, we're taking our regular ship, the George Eliot, and we're going to turn it into a solo only ship for from June of 27 all the way through the season. So every single departure that we do will be for on the ship for solos. So you can have an amazing experience. And this holds, again, 70 or 71 cabins, something like that, maximum. And so you're only talking about 70 passengers. And same complimented crew. Everything operates as normal, but you've got your own room. And again, though this will be on the Rhine and the Danube, but where we don't, those rivers don't hook up like the Rhone and Saône in the south of France or Paris Normandy or the Douro, we'll still run those itineraries as well for solos during that time. So lots of things to offer for your clients. But we're also launching in 2027. What Jason mentioned is our brand new ship on the Mekong, which is absolutely amazing. It's only going to be 48 passengers, 24 staterooms. Beautiful, beautiful ship. It's being built for us right now and launches in September of 2027, but is already on sale. It's a 14-night experience that includes the 7-night river cruise. So you'll do 3 or 4 nights pre or 3 or 4 nights post. That's all included, and the 7-night cruise on the Mekong. And it's really a great value. And if you want to see this part of the world, you will have an amazing experience traveling with Riviera Travel. And I just want to talk about briefly what's happening right now. In the industry, we call this our wave season. Well, normally it doesn't start until January, but we launched it early. So when you book right now through the end of February with Donna and Jason, we're going to give you up to 50% off on select departures for 26 and 27. Plus, you will get a $500 air credit per person when you book the air through Riviera. So that's $500 per person off the top of the airfare. So if the airfare, say from where you guys are in Houston, is $1,200, for instance, to fly to, I don't know, Amsterdam, probably less, we're going to take $500 right off the top of that. Plus, you have our inclusive drink package, and we're also going to include per couple a hotel night pre or post for that up to $500. So if you want to stay in a hotel and it turns out it's $350 a night for that, for if you want to stay one night before or one night after, that's gonna be completely complimentary. If you want to stay in a hotel, again, you can pick it too. You want to stay in the Four Seasons, maybe in one of these cities, and it's $650 a night. You're only going to pay $150 for that, because we'll take $500 off that hotel stay for you. So a really great offerings, all these inclusions that we can do for you. And again, we're growing and we have a wonderful product, a great value, high-end amenities, service, and experience, but really at that great value price point. So with that, I want to thank you for your time. I don't know if there's any questions, but Jason, Donna, feel free to ask or check the box there. You let me know, and I'll also stop sharing the screen.
All right. Thank you, Bruce.
Oh, it's all right. We know you're together. Oh, Jason, you got to unmute yourself there. Were you there? He's got to go to the other. Oh, Jason, you're still muted.
Hello.
Okay. Oh, Donna's going to do. Okay, just the one of you.
Jason and I love love river cruising. We love cruising in general. I encourage you that if you've done ocean cruising, that you try river cruising, because really the experience is amazing. We found our new love of river cruising in 2024 when we took our first river cruise, and we look forward to trying out Riviera travel in the future. All
Oh,
right.
you will.
So right now we have a YouTube series called Where in the World is Tripper? This is Tripper. Okay, so it follows Chipper the elf through different destination and hits a different destination daily. He even has a little song where the genre of music changes every day as well. Subscribe to our YouTube to follow his adventures. And our YouTube is Pursuing Travel with the Millers.
Okay, well, I don't see any questions in the chat, but I have some questions
Great.
for you. So let me run through some things that I know folks would be thinking about, things that I think about with it. So the one of the interesting things that you mentioned is the fact that you have enough seats in the lounge for everyone. And are you meaning with that without adding, folding chairs and things like that? You got everything. Because I've been on river cruises that you go in there and people are just searching for where's a seat to sit, and they put out a few, the folding chairs and things like that, or stuff like that. So
But
I'm just
absolutely
interested
not
about that.
necessary. There is definitely enough seats for everybody and then some in the lounge for
Okay,
sure.
well that
To
that's
sit
something that's
comfortably
unique.
without feeling crowded. And again, we have that bar area as well. So if they wanted to sit around the back, what I love about it in our lounge as well, when the cruise director might be presenting something up on in talking about the port experiences in that you're going to see when you that day or the next day when we arrive uh, is that a lot of times you'll have that one guy, or again, the cruise director, up in the front of the lounge, have one TV screen on the microphone, and if you sitting in the back, you can't see what he's talking about. On our ships, it's quite different and unique. But yes, we have him with the TV and the microphone right in front. But in the back of the lounge and also in the bulkheads on each side, TVs come up out of the banquettes. So no matter where you sit, you're going to have a view of the screen as well as be able to hear um, uh, the uh, the presenter, which I think is great.
Unique from what I can see on, my river cruising experiences, that because there's been many and I do see a question that came in, and I'll ask that as well. But yeah, that's very unique for river cruising, because I've been on many of them that says, you know what, I'm just going to listen to it on the TV in my room, because it's tough to get a seat, or something like that. Not to say, I mean, I had a great time on those other cruise lines, but that's a very unique, nice aspect as I'm seeing. So I'll ask I have a few more questions
Mhm.
myself, but I'll ask that, and already know the answer to that question is, do you have any Christmas market or
Yes.
special festive journeys?
Yeah, we have the whole gambit, and we do our Christmas market or Yuletide Christmas markets different than everybody else, though. I will say that because they originally designed for our UK based company, those clients from the UK to fly over, see the markets, and go back. So there are shorter cruises. They're 3 and 4 nighters. So, sorry, my mistake. 4 and 5 nighter cruises. 4 nights round trip Cologne, 5 nights round trip Budapest, or so what I like about these is that you could do a great 4 night itinerary or a 5 night itinerary, do a pre or post on either end, and not be gone for so long right before Christmas. So if you're doing the Christmas markets again, you can have that pre and post experience, see all the markets, which are just beautiful, and also and then not be away for maybe 7 or 8 nights maximum. And if you're doing anybody else, it's a 7 night river cruise. You do a pre post, you're gone 10 to 12 nights minimum. And that's a lot of time right before Christmas with all the shopping and the family time and the holiday parties and all the other events that are going on. So people love our small our tighter or shorter itineraries because they can put it all together, or you can put it all together them for them as well. Um, so we do that. So we're on the Rhine again, the Danube, and one we're actually launching come in 26 is a 4 night round trip Paris. which is also really nice. So we're just where we normally park. We're only about 10, 15 minutes from the Eiffel Tower by walk. Of course, it's a shorter taxi ride, and that's where you have all the markets set out. And when we go cruise down into the Seine, we go to these two different palaces that are all adorned into the Christmas spirit and have their own markets and things there as well. So really nice. We also have um, slightly longer itineraries over Christmas and over New Year's. So if you want to be away for Christmas and or New Year's, we have those as well. Um,
And there, and I mean that all sounds amazing. That's very unique in the Christmas market. And I actually, from somebody who, I know that a lot of the river cruises are geared towards people that are either close to retirement or retired. I can tell you, I'm not close to that kind of time frame, and I absolutely love river cruising. Both of us do, and we feel just at home, and we're actually seeing more like as we've done river cruises, more and more younger people like us joining in on cruises and things like that. So the shorter kind of cruise like that works better for vacation time. That that if you're, a 14-day, river cruise is relatively tough to, tell the boss that, hey, I'm going to be gone for, these 2 weeks and things like that. I mean, it's happened. I did it this year, but that's a lot easier. And you have the opportunity to, you go on the cruise, but then you also get to see, do a land portion and see some more markets or, something else to that regard. So the question that came out there is it's talking about the Spain cruise, but what they're really meaning is the Douro River cruise.
okay.
That's a unique, and I know the one of the reasons it can't you go by day only is because of the tight turns in the river, and it disallows you to. It's just too dangerous to go around at night like that. But it makes for another unique cruise.
Mhm.
So yeah, chat a bit about that unique
So
itinerary.
I love the door. I did that a couple years ago, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I have to say, again, you only cruise during the day, so you're relaxing in the morning. You're taking in maybe a little later over breakfast if you want. You hang out. If the weather's good, you can again be in the pool or have a drink, and then you'll have lunch on board, and then the touring all starts like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you're back right at dinner time or around 6ish or so, right before dinner. And again, it's absolutely picturesque, beautiful. Obviously, you're going to do and taste a lot of port wine on the Douro River, and it's not just the sweet wines that we're familiar with. There are other types of ports, which I also love. And then additionally, we'll have dinners in a quinta and other wine tasting and the experience. And also, we do a whole full day trip out to Salamanca, which is in Spain. And Salamanca has the oldest university of that country. So you have a little tour of that and also the region. And we also have an included flamenco lunch entertainment. So we'll have a whole flamenco show, like the women with the castanets. But it's not just that; it's a whole host of entertainment, which is also included. And then we'll have some free time to spend before we head back to the ship. So really, again, amazing experiences. You're also, I don't know, I might date myself because I grew up in the New York market and the TV commercials back when I was young talked about where the Moutus Rosé commercials. And I don't know if you ever saw that. So you're gonna actually, if you ever seen Moutus bottles, they're kind of like those rounded bottles like this.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a picture of the palace of Moutus Palace on the bottles. You're gonna actually go to Moutus Palace. And it's got a beautiful reflecting pond in the front of it, and in the back has gorgeous gardens. And you'll also be able to take a tour of the palace itself. So just it's really, all these things that, all come to like, oh, I remember that now. Or yeah, some great stuff to experience.
I can tell you, flamenco's an amazing show to see. It's not just, I mean, there's the dancing aspect of it, but there's also, we've seen it in Barcelona. It's I guess you would say the art of the clap, the people clapping, and then the interesting instruments like there's a gentleman sitting on a box, like
Mhm.
kind of doing that. But it's also interesting culturally because it's Spain, but because they had the Moors invade, you can actually hear a tinge of the Islamic kind of voice or the call to prayer in a way in some of the music that's kind of a unique cultural kind of aspect. But yeah, that
Mhm.
sounds like an amazing cruise. I've never been on the Douro, so that sounds great.
And just the rolling hills of the steep vineyards along and the views while you're either going out on tour or just seeing right from the river, it's just so picturesque. And you'll also go through the largest block in all of Europe.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And it's also cool for people like me that are not morning people that we actually
There you
Yeah.
go.
A, a couple more. I have a couple more questions for you that I heard that from things I heard during the presentation that are unique. Like with the Danube Delta cruise, do you actually? Because I saw on the map a city that was out on in the Black Sea. Do you actually visit that city with the ship? Do
Uh,
you go out or?
well, from there we actually Castanta, which is probably what you saw.
Mhm,
And if you go into our brochure, look online at some of the pictures, they always show that picture of Castanta. That's outside the Delta, but it sits on the Black Sea.
mhm.
Um, and in the picture they show you is this beautiful palace from the outside. It just looks like, oh my God, it must be hundreds and hundreds of years old, and it's just gorgeous. In reality, it's a casino.
That happens. You'll see things like that, a Vegas style kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the couple of, and I know we're getting close to the hour mark, but a couple of other questions that when it comes to the flights, how does booking through Riviera? Because in recent days, I've been on, cruise lines where, you pay and you
Mhm.
end up like with two or three stops.
No,
Um, you undergoing things like and yeah, I mean, the airfare was a good price, but and then you talk to them like, so hey, there's only, I know there's a nonstop from Amsterdam to Houston or something like that.
right.
Why are we going to Detroit and then Dallas and then
Yeah,
coming down?
exactly.
So
So
how does
we're
that
not going to
flow?
do that. We're going to find you the best pricing with the best routing. But the other thing is, if you, again, if you're you and the folks that are on watching come to you and say, or you look up ahead of time, I've got this nonstop and I want that nonstop flight. We'll book that for you. But again, we'll also give you options that might be less expensive or whatever. But we'll book what you want because basically everything is customized. Now, if you come to us and say, "Hey, I'm just looking for this routing," we'll come back with three options and you pick one. Um, or again, I've got this in mind. Hopefully, you can get this to me at a good deal
Okay.
and give us a
And you
list of
still get
flights that
that
you're looking for.
500 off,
Yep,
basically, like for the deal right now.
right. That's
So that
correct.
that's nice versus like we were offered like coming back from Egypt. We flew Alexandria to Doha, Doha to Dallas, Dallas to Houston, and it was over 36 hours of travel time. So
Oh
that
yeah.
was at the end of that. Ooh, that was brutal, as you
It's a
can
long
imagine.
trip. Hmm.
Yeah. And
And
my
you know what?
parents were with me
Oh
on
gosh.
that. So that was tough as well. And they're on the call too. So but the other question I had was about excursions. Are all the excursions included? Are there ones that are additional cost? And are there like levels of like, okay, say you don't want to walk up a mountain or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, are there different levels of the tours?
Yes. Good, great question. And yes, yes, and yes. So we have including excursions every day in every port that we stop in. Some days we'll have choices of those particular excursions. We also, depending on the number, again, we'll have a slower paced or slower walking tour versus something that might be a little bit more with everybody else. So if you're a slower pacer, you have a walker, or you don't walk as fast, or whatever, you can join that. You'll still get everything in, but it'll be at a slower pace. And then we also do optional tours. Now, we don't do all the optional tours some of the other companies do. The reason being is we want you to focus on the town or city that you're visiting. So we're going to give you free time and you can do what you want. Now, listen, my favorite thing is to go into that old town main square and like sit in one of those cafes and have lunch or a coffee or a glass of wine or whatever it is. And watch the people because that is like be like a local. And interesting enough, the locals all come to that square to have lunch or have that coffee, but they don't shop there. Only the tourists shop in the main square because so what I again, so I get up from that table after watching people watching and having lunch or whatever, and I find that little alley and I walk up that into the hearts of these towns. Um, and you find these other shops where the locals go to. And that's what I really love to do. Now, we do have options, again, depending on where we are and in the itinerary and a lot of time. And you can pre-book those for them, for your guests that are traveling with us. And they're not overly expensive. And we still try to keep you in that town or city you're visiting. So, for instance, we're in Vienna. We have two optional tours that I can recall. One is a behind the scenes tour of the Spanish riding school, with the Lippens or Stallions and stuff. So it's really amazing behind the scenes tour. Another one is the Sorbonne Palace and wine tasting there. I mean, what could be bad? I mean, the palace is gorgeous and having a wine tasting experience there as well. So those are the two that I recall that I know. Again, and they're not overly priced, but again, you can pre-book those and you're all set ahead of time.
I can tell you that I know somebody personally who loves horses and things like that that would love that Lipperzahner Stallion, the Spanish riding school. I've been to it, but haven't had a behind the scenes tour of it, which sounds pretty nice. So there's another question. It says, are you able to get like work with the airlines and get discounts that you pass on to the customers, or is it the going rate for
It
airfare?
really depends on the airline. Exact, good question. And what you're looking at. Now, a lot of times with US domestic carriers, the big three, American, United, Delta, they don't offer wholesale or discount rates too often. But if you're looking at some of them that fly into KLM or Air France or Lufthansa, they tend to sometimes, and we'll work with them because the company that we work with have contracts, so we'll be able to maybe get those bulk air rates, so to speak. They're called bulk or published.
Yeah.
So depending on what you're looking at and where you're going, it really depends. I'm just going to be honest, and we do pass those along, whatever that rate is.
Excellent. So, last question from me before we, I guess, close things out. And if anybody else has any kind of questions, is around on the ship. I'm guessing that you have like cultural kind of programs, maybe in the evening, like I've seen this on cruise lines where they'll bring in like a local dance troupe. Or the things like that that you can see and further immerse yourself or learn the history about where you're at. The Riviera does that.
Yes, we absolutely do. And now it's not going to be every night. We'll do like again, we say light entertainment because we'll have the piano player or DJ, or we'll do a trivia night. But we'll bring entertainment from ashore on board the ship, depending where we are. I know again, we were just talking about that Danube cruise in Vienna and Budapest. Budapest, we bring in a folklore show and dancers that'll do that. In Vienna, instead of sending you out to a concert hall. After dinner, we bring a string quartet on board to play for you on the ship, and it's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, no, I love Vienna. It's, to be honest, my favorite city in the world with the music,
Hmm.
the beautiful architecture, and it's just such a well-run, like when it comes to public transportation and things. I mean, I remember watching when I was at one station, the custodian was cleaning up the one cigarette butt that I saw on the train, and I was thinking, wow, okay, this doesn't have a whole lot to work on here. So
And yeah, and Budapest is one of my favorite cities. It's absolutely beautiful as well.
yep. I
And
was
again, we
just
have
there a
that
couple of
wonderful.
weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, okay. And we have a wonderful full day tour included to Salzburg. One of the options there is that it's now it's like probably like $85. So it sounds expensive, but we take you to the oldest continuing restaurant in Europe to have lunch.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
so
pretty cool.
you're having lunch where Mozart had lunch. And I think that is
That's
so cool.
that's a
So
really
when I
that's a
go
very
over, I have to be up there in April. I'm going to be doing that.
that's a unique. I would love you definitely love to do something like that. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Well, I guess there's no other questions in here, and we're right about at time here. It's been a great presentation, great, kind of a interview style here at the end of it, asking a few questions and things like that. And I really look forward to heading out on Riviera cruises, the river cruises, and something for everyone that's out there listening, either net live or in the recording is we're definitely looking to put together some group tours uh,
Mhm.
that where we will come along with the group. So it's even more seamless because, hey, you got people who are well versed in river cruising and travel and things that'll be there to help you. And you also, with these kind of groups, there's discounted rates as well that come with it. So stay tuned for that. That we're gonna, hopefully plan something out, a Christmas market or something like that in the future.
I just want to throw in something about the Christmas markets. If you haven't done it, it's not about the shopping. I mean, yes, it's the markets. It is so much more about the food and the camaraderie and the spirit of the season. And it's and those are the times I usually, we take children 12 and up, and I hardly ever see them. And maybe over the Christmas markets you get some of those older families on because we and it is so amazing and such an experience. And again, everybody's there to just enjoy the spirit of the season as you go out, and the ship is actually beautifully adorned as well for the holidays. So I can't say enough. Oh, we also do solos for Christmas markets.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I couldn't agree more that we've been to quite a few, and we actually have an article on our website about our Christmas market experiences. And I mean, yeah, it's just a very different experience that, I mean, there is shopping, there is food and everything. I mean, the food is great. You can eat like when we were in Brussels, we ate at the Christmas market every night we were there, and we had something different, the different themes and it's
And the
the
brew wine, that
yeah,
the
exactly.
hot spiced wine, and
Oh,
can't
that's excellent. The warm, yeah, that is great. Well,
have.
maybe we'll see you on a Christmas cruise at some point. So, but
Do you have any rooms that would fit more than two people?
No, unfortunately, we don't. We only have doubles and no connectings. So when you do family, now again, we do have those solo cabins that might be available. But say you're a family of four and you've got, they always say, "Well, put me next door." I'm like, no, no, you don't want to be next door. You want to be across the hall. Because as a parent, if you lay open the door and you open the door and you're looking over, they know that you're looking over. But if they're across the hall and you open the door, you can look right in and you have no choice. So you're not like you're spying on them or anything.
absolutely. Well, thank you very much for we won't can't keep any more of your time today, but yeah, it's been great. And we'll have this presentation once again on YouTube and for anybody to rewatch a portion of it if you or missed something, and for anybody else. So we'll be having another Wander Wisely series come in January. Another location, destination, travel leader, company that'll come talk with us. So stay tuned for that. And you all have a good rest of your evening and a Merry Christmas as we get close to that. Thanks again, Bruce.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone. Cheers.